Hello, this is Tim Law with Playing It Forward Coaching, always encouraging your self-reliance. If you set a goal for yourself, chase that goal with a solid work ethic. Always go the extra mile, develop some people and communication skills. You'll be amazed at what you can accomplish in this country. A big thank you to about 579 people that have subscribed to this channel, Playing It Forward Coaching. If you haven't already, please do so. I would very much appreciate it. And also thank you for over 35,000 people in the last 2 years viewing this YouTube channel. Much appreciated. I got a really neat young man here. You talk about work ethic. I stay in touch with his dad all the time, and I know he's been running all over the place. Uh, he was at Millersville, and now he's at York College. He's worked with the Barnstormers as well as the Baltimore Orioles. So, Gavin Stephens, welcome, and tell us a little bit about yourself there.
Yeah, going to York College right now, just a transfer student from Millersville. Enjoying my time at York College and still working with the Revolution right now. That's pretty much all I got going on right now. Coaching too. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so you're with the Revolution as well, then?
Yeah, I'm with the Revolution. Yep.
Okay, great, great. And I want to give you a quick shout out too, because we did interview earlier today with um, Evan Jennings and Hayden Dalem. And I know seeing you in the preseason when I was there with my tennis girls, you were always coming down to help those guys out. So even though your dad and Shuey and there's a couple other key guys in there were the main coaches, you certainly helped get them off to a great start. So congratulations to you and the effort you made there. So very, very
Yeah,
good.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about your work with, the O's, the Barnstormers, the Revolution, that type of thing.
Yeah, so just my senior year of high school in 2021, one of my family friends actually reached out to me because he knew I wanted to get into this sports management, business administration management, industry. And at the time, he was working over with the Lancaster Barnstormers, and I said, you know what, I'm going to go ahead, give it a try, and went over there, had an awesome time, got to meet some really cool people that been all over the place, and developed some friendships that will last for a while. And then you know, took me to the Orioles this year and for a little bit, and then the York Revolution as well this year. I got to be a concession supervisor and just a concessions employee
Mhm.
starting off when I first started at the Barnstormers, but I evolved into a supervisor, and I'm hoping to be a manager coming up here soon.
Oh, that would be fantastic. And as far as some of the experience that you got that way, obviously, now was this like an internship program for you, or was it like a paid position? How did that work out for you?
It was more, it wasn't an internship at all, really. I mean, you could treat it as that. It
Sure.
like feels like an internship. But it was just, I got paid to be there. I was a paid supervisor and employee at the time.
Hmm.
It's just more, I want to say training,
Yeah.
for what I'm going to do in the future. Just getting hands-on experience with people that have had experience with like NBA teams, MLB teams. A lot of people come around and they're moving all over the place, especially with this hospitality industry that I'm
Hmm.
in. You're always moving, and just to see everybody from different places share their different experiences really helped me with that, training that I mentioned earlier.
Sure. Well, it's interesting. There's a guy named Robert Kiyosaki. He's written a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And his whole thing, the basis of that book is being willing, even at times, just to work for free, just to get that experience, because that is
Yeah.
priceless. The contacts that you make, as well as just learning, the ropes. And like I say, you're doing the hospitality as far as working the concessions, but you're also, learning a variety of other things. So, what were some of the key things that you felt that you learned this year? And I know you were super busy, obviously having a great work ethic. So, some of the main things that you felt you learned with those organizations, Gavin.
Some things I learned is that certainly, working for the Lancaster Barnstormers, and then I was mostly at the Revolution a lot this summer. But when
Mm-hmm.
I had the time, went down to the Orioles. How big of a jump it really is from a Atlantic League level to an MLB level, as far as capacity, serving food, how to get things ready, what it takes, how many employees you need to run like a super um popular MLB team. You got the Revolution where your capacity is like 8,000, a normal night's like 2 to 3,000 in attendance, where down at Baltimore it's 12,000 is a bad night,
Sure.
and you gotta you gotta adjust. And I learned that as I take this path, I'm going to have to adjust to those different settings. Um, and I think that was the most helpful, getting like a professional sports team um experience while I can at a young age.
Sure. Well, I'm sure when the Yankees or Boston comes into town, they probably fill that stadium pretty good, I would
Oh, even
suspect.
more, yeah. Yep,
Mhm.
you're completely right.
Yeah, and I think it holds is it like 46,000? It's something like that, I believe.
Yeah, I think it's Camden Yards is around like 50,000, I'm pretty
50.
sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And so then comparing the Barnstormers and the York Revolution, obviously it's a whole different scenario there. I always like to ask too, Gav, what as far as advice that you'd give to, okay, let's say, all right, now you're a couple years going on a couple years removed from high school. What advice would you give, some of the people that are in high school, that a lot of those guys know you and everything like that at Northeastern? What advice would you give them now that you've learned certain things, out in the real world?
Definitely for this business, for sure, if you were trying to get into the hospitality, don't be afraid to socialize, build connections,
Mm-hmm.
because after all, connections is what gets you places. I know for a fact, my one boss, and at the Barnstormers, she started with me as like her first year.
I don't know if you can hear me or not, Gavin. Can you hear me? Yeah, something happened with the sound.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can. Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah. No
there.
word. Yeah, can you
Sorry.
try? Can you repeat that? Yeah,
Yeah,
I
sorry.
thought
My
I thought
brother
it
was
might just been a Wi-Fi thing. Yeah.
yeah, my brother's AirPods connected to my computer. It,
Oh, I wonder who he is. Yeah.
yeah, yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we got it sorted out now.
Okay. All good.
I should have told him beforehand.
No worries. No worries.
Yeah,
I always like these kind of comical moments, So
yeah,
yeah,
okay. So where was I? Oh yeah, advice.
yeah.
Don't be afraid to socialize and build connections. Like I was saying, if you heard me before then or not, my boss, she um got to know my family friend that got me into this business. She was the concession manager at the Barnstormers, and he was the president of hospitality at
Okay.
the Barnstormers. So they're kind of the dynamic duo. Since my family friend has been all over the place, working for different teams and all that, I kind of built up a reputation for her too, to get her moved to the Detroit Pistons and Detroit
Wow.
Red Wings.
Hmm.
So I was very happy for her. And then like my family friend, like I mentioned earlier, he's been all over the place because he's been connected to all these different people,
Hmm.
like the Yankees, the Cowboys, Tampa Bay Lightning, all kinds of teams. He was at the Orioles with me. He's just connected everywhere. He has all
Yeah.
these different opportunities, and for high schoolers, um, getting to know somebody like maybe like me or some other people that have the same interests as them that are a little bit older that are trying to do the same thing would be very important to do. Like, build those connections.
Hmm.
Absolutely. That's what you have to do.
Well, I certainly agree with that. The other question I have for you, and you see this with a lot of kids in school, is they don't understand, or use, very, in certain times use good time management. I'm sure you be having to hustle back and forth. what did you learn as far as time management was concerned, as far as applying that to your life and career?
For time management, for me, I tried to put my try to get my priorities together. You know, I made like training those guys in the summer my priority in the mornings. Then I could go home, maybe relax if I had the time, and then go into work. And it can be difficult because when you have a job, you're coaching, or you have school, even because I know my schedule with the Revolution went into my school year. It's hard to like find your self time, like time yourself
Mm-hmm.
by yourself or whatever. I know I value it. Um, you just you gotta be willing to give up some things if you're trying to shoot for the stars in the
Mm-hmm.
future. I know for me that's what you gotta leave alone the friend time sometimes. Do what's best for you. So time management for me, it was, do what's best for you in your future.
Sure, sure. No, definitely. Um, Gavin, this has been wonderful. Any other last second thoughts? Certain questions I should have asked you or whatever that you'd like to finish up with here that you can think of?
No, that's pretty much it.
Okay.
I'm all good. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad if we were able to finally catch up. I know you have a pretty busy schedule there and everything, and I know that your mom and dad are real proud of you, as they should be, and
Mhm.
people here at Northeastern, because of it's really cool with when you see young people such as yourself. And I had uh, I've had a few other Northeastern people on here and everything. And
Uh-huh.
Saeed, I mean, he's driving a truck now and he's going very, very well. He loves it. He's so passionate about it. He's
Yeah,
probably
that's
as
awesome.
passionate about it as you are with the doing the work you're doing. So it's really, really good when you guys kind of find a cool niche like this. Definitely.
Yeah, follow your passion for sure. That's definitely what you gotta do, put all you can into it, don't let anybody tell you anything else, or try to persuade you into doing something else. Do what you love to do.
Sure.
Definitely.
Well, makes a lot of sense, and I think you kind of came out of the womb that way because of your dad being the AD and everything along those lines. So, how about let's before I don't want to be remiss here. How about your mom and dad? How much have they helped you in these directions?
Oh, I know, they've helped me a lot, both of them for sure. Without my dad, being the sports guy he is, I definitely would not be here because, he's ultimately the one that made me fall in love with sports originally. So he's always also pushing me to, hey, try to do some extra stuff for your work, and I
Hmm.
like, what, that's right, I should go into work early or something like that.
Hmm.
Put in that extra work, build a name for yourself in this business, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Well, I'll throw this one back at you because I couldn't agree with your dad more, Gavin. And that is two of the rarest qualities in the workforce today are speed and dependability. If you will do those two things, go that extra mile, get there early, stay a little longer, where everybody else is trying to cut out, you do stand out among everybody else. And, it's kind of a contrast between you and them. So that speed and dependability, which it sounds like you were describing, I couldn't agree with it more, definitely. So,
Absolutely.
well,
Yep.
this has been fantastic. Can you hang for a minute when we get done?
Yeah, of course.
Great, great. Well, thanks, Gavin. Always good catching up with you, and keep it rolling, man.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.